All right, so if you're following along, I hope you can hear me. So what we're going to be doing today is going through the different marketing pieces that we have available within MyKW. So if you are following along, go ahead and go to mykw.kw.com and sign in. Oh, perfect. All right, and once we're at the home page of MyKW, we're going to go ahead and go into eEdge so we can take a look at some of those different marketing pieces that we have available. So from your home page of MyKW, what we'll do next is we're going to go up to the eEdge control panel up at the top center of your page. And we're going to click on the plus sign next to My Marketing. From this little pop-out box that shows up, we're going to click the first option that says Create Marketing Materials. This is going to bring us into eEdge, into the Marketing Center. This is basically our hub where we can access all the different marketing pieces. So we can access email marketing, print marketing, our campaigns, our mailing lists, any images or photos that may be stored in eEdge. This is basically the main place for marketing. But before we actually jump into creating some of these marketing pieces, we want to make sure that our information that will appear on these pieces is correct. So to make sure everything is good to go, we're actually going to go up to the top right where it says Account. So if we click on that, you should see maybe your photo and your name. Under Account Administration, we're going to click on the first option, which is My Account. All right, this brings us into the My Account page in eEdge. This is basically where you would need to go to edit any of your personal information in eEdge. So this is the information that shows up on your campaigns that you send out, on any marketing materials that you create. This is also what shows up on your eEdge website. So if you ever need to edit any of that information, this is where you'd go. So from here, if we wanted to make changes, we can go ahead and click on the blue edit button up at the top left. This is basically going to open this up so we can make changes. Some of the more important things are name. You definitely want to make sure your name is correct on here. This login, this is actually just the login for Market Leader, so don't worry about changing that. Designations, you can put in Realtor, broker, associate, whatever title you prefer. Up here, or sorry, designations, it looks like we have two different things. Designations, this is actually where you would put designations for any specialties that you may have. I know you can take classes and get special designations like senior homing specialist, military rehoming specialist, stuff like that. So this is actually where you would put that information, your little titles. Up here over for title, we have CEO, but this is where you can put like realtor, broker, or something like that. You can put your license or DRE number here. I know in the state of California that is required to be on your marketing materials and on your website, so you can make sure that that is in this box. If you are a team, you can check this box and it'll change everything to team wording like we, us. Over here on the right, we have a spot for two different phone numbers. You can see we have a spot for a mobile number, cell phone, and then an office phone. There isn't a way to change these or like switch the order of these. They will always appear in this order. You can choose to have both. You can choose to have one or the other. It's up to you. But you can put in your cell phone number and then your office number in this space. All right, over here, very important, we have a space for external email. So this is definitely what you want, where you want your preferred business email. We don't want this eEdge email in here. This has to be an outside email. So this might be your kw.com email, maybe it's another Gmail that you've created, maybe you have a custom email like scott@scottleroymarketing.com. Whatever it is, just make sure that it's your preferred business email. It's an email you actually use. You can put that in this box, and then directly below, we're going to see a spot that says marketing and reply to email. So when you hit edit, for some reason it always changes this to CRM email. That is this KW Realty email. So this is important. We want to actually click on this and switch it to this external email. So whatever you type in this box will pop up on this little drop-down menu, and you want to make sure that these are the same. This marketing and reply to email, this is basically what this means is if you send out any marketing materials within eEdge and say somebody replies to it, the reply is going to go to this email. I think this is better than the eEdge email because a lot of times this is an email that you're actually using. The eEdge email is really just for sending out those messages in eEdge, so we want to make sure that the marketing and reply to email is the same. This is also the marketing material or email that will show up on your marketing pieces. So when in that little space in the bottom where it has like your photo, your phone number, your email, this is the email that's going to show up. Over to the right, we have marketing website. This would be your preferred website that you're using for your business. Could be your eEdge site, could be your Playster site, maybe you built another site outside of KW that you're using. Whatever that is, you want to make sure that you have the link in here. Marketing address, make sure that this is your office address. You don't want to give people your home address. Make sure you check these boxes for realtor logo and equal housing logo. Down here for my mobile app, if we've done your setup, we will automatically plug this in for you. But this is where you want to have your code to your KW app. This is important because on like those drip campaigns and some of the marketing materials, there is a link that says click here to download my app. We want to make sure that your app link is in here so that when people click on that, it actually takes them to a download page for your specific Keller Williams app. So a lot of times it looks like this. It starts with app.kw.com, and then it's usually like a jumble of numbers or letters, something like that. Call to action, if you have maybe like a slogan or a little catchphrase, you can put that in here. Disclaimer, this is already plugged in. I would probably just leave that alone. But once this is all good to go, we can scroll down and click the blue Save button. Oops. And you know what? I've been getting this error where when I try to save in eEdge, it does this. So it did actually save your changes. I'm going to just go ahead and hit back and see if it takes us back. And it did. Okay, so it does say information profile updated successfully. I don't know why it errors out, so I'm actually just going to click account again and then go back to my account. Fun little market leader glitches we get sometimes. Alright, so scrolling on down, just we want to make sure that all this is correct. So all that looks good. It looks like it did update. Social media. If you have any social media pages for your business, this is where you can add this in. They'll add a little icon on your website, and then on some of your emails and your campaigns, you'll see a little Facebook button, Twitter button, what have you. You can add these in by clicking Add Social Media. Once this pops up, you can select from the URL type, and there's a lot of different profiles on here. Okay, so we chose YouTube, and then in URL we can put in the URL of our page. We actually do have a YouTube page, youtube.com/ScottLeroyMarketing. I'll click Save, and it looks like that was added in. You can make changes to these by clicking this little pencil, or if you want to delete one of these profiles, you can click on the X. and that'll be removed right away. Lastly, down at the bottom, we do have our images section. So website and marketing image. So website, this is the profile picture used on your website. Sometimes people will use different photos for their website or for their marketing materials. Sometimes on the marketing materials they like, or even on the website, they like the ones where you're like cut out of the background. But a lot of times this will just be the same image. So just so you know, one is for your website, one is for your marketing. This is the one that will show up on those marketing materials. So those drip campaigns, any flyers, property brochures, anything that you make in eEdge for marketing, this is the photo that will show on there. And over here to the right, we have our marketing logo. You don't need to put your headshot in here. This is really just for any custom KW logos that you might have. You don't need to put in just a generic KW logo because your marketing materials will actually auto-populate one for you. But if your office has maybe their own custom logo, or maybe you made one for yourself or for your team, like we have a Scott Leroy marketing logo we could put in there, that's what would go in this box. You can also put in a QR code, maybe for your print materials. Maybe you want to put in a QR code for your mobile app, or a QR code to a specific site or your Facebook page, what have you. This would be a great place for that. But all this looks good to go. One thing to note, this page does update right away. So say you're working on some marketing materials and you notice maybe your phone number is wrong or something like that, you can come to this page, change it, and then it'll actually reflect right away on your site and on your marketing materials. So once this is good to go, we can go ahead and check out our marketing materials. So we're going to go up to the very top of our page. We're going to click on Marketing. And from here, let's just go ahead and go back to that Marketing Center. Oh, you know what? Actually, let's do a campaign first. I'm going to click on this second option for Manage Campaigns. And I apologize if you guys can hear my gardener landscaper guy outside. He's mowing the lawn right now, so it might be a little loud. All right, so this is going to bring us to the My Campaigns page. This is where we can manage any of our campaigns. This will show you right now, if you see up here under My Campaigns, it says Show, and then we have any status and any schedule. So what that means is right now we're looking at all of the campaigns we have. So any active campaigns, any paused campaigns, it's basically just showing everything. If we go up to status, maybe you only want to see active campaigns or paused, inactive, what have you. You can change that around. You can also look at different dates. Maybe you want to look at a date interval campaign or a birthday anniversary campaign, what have you. But right now we're just looking at everything. All right, so now what we can do, like I said, this is showing all of our current campaigns. If we wanted to add a new campaign, we can go up to the top right and click on the Add New Campaign button. All right, this is going to bring us to a page that basically lists all of the different campaigns that are available. So we have quite a few different types. It is going to show you the newer campaigns at the top. So it looks like our 33 touch for 2018 did just come out. So we'll definitely set that up, but we have 33 touch campaigns. This is the first campaign that they recommend you set up. These go out twice a month for the whole year. So they usually start in like April or May, and then they go out twice a year until the next April, and then you'll have to restart them. This is great for your sphere of influence, maybe family, friends, coworkers, people like that. And like I said, this is recommended. This is the first one that we recommend that you set up. So we have quite a few different 33 touches in here. Next, I'll show you, we have some 12 direct campaigns. These campaigns go out once a month for the whole year. This is like the monthly newsletter campaign. Sometimes like this one is a DIY steps campaign. So these go out, like I said, once a month for the whole year. Sometimes it's a newsletter. This one looks like it's like some cute home tips. So any campaign that you're interested in, down at the bottom you'll see there's this little drop down that says Show Campaign Step Details. If you click on that, it'll actually expand and you can see what these actually look like. So this you can see is an interval campaign. What this means is, so this one says new for 2016, but it is still active because it's an interval campaign. So this is step one. If you click on the little thumbnail, it'll actually show you a preview. This is tips for keeping your home allergy free. So what this interval campaign means is you can add people to this at any time. So say I added somebody to this campaign today, they would start to receive the first email tomorrow, and then I think it's 30 days after that, 30 days after that, and so on and so forth for the whole year. So you can add people to these campaigns at any time, and they're just going to start back at the beginning and go from that point. This is different from like our 33 touch. I'll go ahead and scroll up and show you that. Whoa! If we go back to our 33 touch, this you can see is a date campaign. So what this means is these pieces go out on specific dates. So say we added some people today, they wouldn't get the first email until the next scheduled one comes out. So maybe you have 10 people on there now, and then you add someone maybe like a week or two later. That person you just added isn't going to go back and receive that first email. They're basically going to just jump in line with everybody else. So that's the main difference between a date campaign and an interval campaign. So make sure you're keeping an eye out for that. And we'll get more into the date campaign. You can actually change the dates on here if you'd like. But that's a 33 touch. We talked about the 12 direct. We also have some 8x8s in here. 8x8s are directed for buyers or for sellers. These are interval campaigns. They go out once a week for 8 weeks. So you don't want to put just anybody on this campaign because they are more aggressive. This is really just for buyers and sellers that you're pursuing more aggressively. So maybe you met some clients at an open house and they're really interested in buying soon. That's the type of person you would want to put on an 8x8 buyer campaign. So I'll just scroll down and show you, there's a ton of campaigns on here, different 12 directs, different 8x8s, different 33 touches. We also, if we go all the way down to the bottom, all right, a few other campaigns that are pretty cool. We have a birthday greetings campaign. So if you happen to know your clients' birthdays, you can add that into their contact information and set them up on a birthday greetings campaign. And then they'll get a nice little email from you every year. So it looks like these are set up for 10 years, which is pretty crazy. So you can set this up, and then every year on their birthday, they'll get a nice little happy birthday message from you. We also have multi-channel, so say you wanted to send out actual postcards rather than an email, you can choose that, but we're just going to focus on those email campaigns today. We also have a mobile app campaign. This is an interval campaign. These are great because they just encourage your people to download your mobile app. So I'll just go ahead and click on this Show Campaign Step Details little tab and expand this and show you what this actually looks like. So this is cool. It just has information about your mobile app. And then here's that button I was talking about that says Download My App Now. If somebody clicks on that, it'll actually take them to your download page where they can download your specific branded app. And then you can collect the information from when they use it. And of course, your information will be plugged in at the bottom. We also have purchase anniversary campaigns. This is great for past clients. You can set them up and then you'll send them a nice little reminder every year on the anniversary that they purchased their home. All right, so I'm just going to scroll all the way back up to the top, and we're going to set up a 33 touch really quickly. All right, so this is the new one, 33 touch by your side. Say we like this campaign, we want to go ahead and go for it. It says this one is great for the Mets in your database. We're going to click Choose this template. Alright, so this does take you into step 2 first. It opens it up like this. I'm just going to go ahead and close this so we can go through 1 through 4. So to minimize this, I can just click on the title of step 2. Alright, so we have 4 steps in setting up a campaign. So step 1 says 33 touch by your side. If we click on that, this is just renaming the campaign. This is really, you're the only one who will see this, so to help yourself keep track, maybe you want to say this is a specific 33 touch for your SOI. You only have people from your SOI on here. Whatever you want to change it to, you can do that and then click Save and Continue. Alright, once that's good to go, we'll go back into step 2, review and configure steps. Alright, so it looks like the first step of this campaign will go out on June 4th. And the email subject here is called Are You Dreaming of a New Neighborhood? You do have the option to change this if you'd like. You can change the email title. You can also change the dates on this. So right now it says it goes out on June 4th, 2018. If you want to change that, you can click on this little calendar button and it will allow you to pick another day. Maybe I want it to go out on June 5th. I just changed that. Perfect. So over here to the right, it'll show us a little preview of what this little piece looks like. If we click on that, this piece is called 5 Tips for Choosing a New Neighborhood. And it just has some like kind of generic info on here, kind of fun. And then of course down at the bottom it will plug in your information. But say maybe you don't love everything in this specific piece, we can click on Personalize to the right and make some changes. So we clicked on Personalize and this is going to bring us into our editor. Alright, so up at the top it did plug in our marketing website, which is awesome. And now you can basically just change whatever you want on here. I like to, this is my go-to when I'm teaching these classes. Whoa. Alright, so it's basically just click and edit. So we can change out the text. If we go up to the top, this is similar to like Microsoft Word. We can change the font. We can change the font size. Whoa, that looks crazy. I'm just going to leave that alone. You know, you can bold it, italicize it. If you wanted to change the color, you could. Let's just make it purple. Say you wanted to add in a video. You can actually do that. So what I'll do is, maybe I want to add in a video after this little portion of text. I'll click at the end of that and then hit enter. So to add a video, we can go up to the top and you can see this is the insert video button. It looks like a little film strip with a play button on it. So if we click on that, it's going to give us our space for adding our video. So when you add a video, you can only add in videos from YouTube and Vimeo. So you can't add in something like directly from your computer. You would have to upload it to YouTube or Vimeo first. So I'm just going to go to YouTube real quick and pull one of our videos from scottleroymarketing.com. I'm just going to pull up our intro video. So whatever video you want to add in, you're basically just going to go to the page like you yourself you're watching it. So you can copy that URL. So just copy the address in the address bar of the video that you're watching. And then if we go back to our marketing piece, we're in that box that says enter video URL here. So if we paste that, it's usually something like this, youtube.com/watch blah 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 blah. So once we hit submit, Perfect, you can see it plugged in our video. We can expand this and make it bigger. If we want to change the alignment, we can. It looks like this is the text alignment button. Looks like it's set over to left alignment. Maybe I want to center this. Perfect, it just moved it over a little bit. But yeah, you can go ahead and play around with this as much as you want. Maybe you want to change out this image. We can upload an image directly from our computer. Or let's change out this logo. That's an easy one. So what we can do is, once we clicked on this image, we can do upload image. They do have some great stock images in here, but let's upload one from our computer really quick because I know I have some office logos in here. Oh, looks like I have some Tennessee in here. Oop, that one's going to be, we're not going to be able to see that. Alright, 1 second. There we go. Perfect, so I was able to change out the logo. You can add in an image the same way we added in that video. Just click wherever you'd like to add in the image and click on the Insert Image button. Same thing, we can upload from our computer. My pictures or any pictures that you have saved in eEdge. Like I said, they have a lot of stock images. Some of them are kind of silly. I usually like to pick this groundhog. So yeah, you can just go in here and play around with this. It's pretty simple. Basically, like click and edit. Whoa! Like I said, you can drag and drop to make this bigger. It's so silly. Okay, so this is our lovely email, and then if we scroll all the way down to the bottom, you can see that our information has been plugged in. We have our headshot, it has our name and our title. I think this was the designation, digital marketer, and then it has our name, and then it says CEO. These are our 2 phone numbers. Like I said, we didn't have a logo in there, but it did plug in a KW for us. And then down at the bottom, here's that link that says click here to download my mobile app. This is that marketing email that we added in, and then this is our marketing website. So it looks like all that information that we edited was correct. So once this piece looks good to go, we can scroll back up to the top and click Save. I'm just going to leave that name alone. Alright, once that is good, after we've saved, we can click Exit. And now, so this is piece 1. Now this little thumbnail has actually been updated. So if we click on that again, we can see it plugged in our personal information and our edits are there. So this is actually what the email piece is going to look like once it gets sent out. Alright, so that's only if you want to make changes. So after that, I'll just show you a couple more. It says step 2 is a task, and it says this month in real estate is ready for your edits. So this 33 touch is a mix of something like this fun little like kind of fluffy piece, and then the other part of the month is actually a newsletter. So you can see that on June 14th, whoever is on this mailing list is going to receive a This Month in Real Estate e-newsletter for June 2018. If we click on this, this is not the info that's on there. This is just a placeholder. So what this little task means, right before that, sorry, it keeps moving me down, it says it's ready for your edit. So you can't edit this email newsletter until about, I think, 10 days before it actually gets a little less than that, a week. So it looks like from June 5th to June 12th, you have the ability to make changes to this newsletter, and then it sends out on the 14th. These newsletters are like pretty generic info. They are for nationwide. So maybe if you live somewhere where maybe the rates and stuff are drastically different from the nationwide stuff, you might actually want to come in here and just take a look at this and make sure that these numbers aren't, you know, astronomically different than how they are in your area. But the great thing about these campaigns is you actually don't have to do anything. Some people like to say set it and forget it, so you don't have to make changes to any of this. Say you're like, whatever, it doesn't matter, like I'm just emailing these people and it's good for them. It's good for me to make a touch in whatever way. They're still seeing your name and your face and you're reminding them that you're in real estate. That's actually enough for a lot of people that I've heard. So what you can do is once you've made your edits, or maybe you don't want to make any edits at all, you can scroll all the way down to step 2. We're just going to say set it and forget it. And we're going to click save and continue. Perfect. So if we scroll back up, it did minimize step 2. Now we can go to step 3, add or remove contacts. Right now it's showing that we have 0 contacts and 0 groups on this campaign. So if we click on that, it will bring us this nice little pop-up window. And now we have the ability to add groups or contacts, or both. So the main difference with these, the great thing about adding groups is, say, let me find a group that has, say we want to add this coworkers group to this campaign. We can click on the add button. That's going to move this group from the left to the right. Once they're over here, it means they're on the campaign. So what this means is anybody who is in this coworkers group will now be on this campaign. So say later on you add somebody to this group. Once they're added to this coworkers group, they will automatically be put on this campaign. This is awesome because before, even if you added somebody to a group and everybody else from that group was on a campaign, you would still have to manually go in and add that individual to the campaign as well. So if you really are categorizing by group, this is probably your best bet, is to just add the groups onto the campaign. You can also add individual contacts, so we're going to click on the Contacts tab to switch this over. Right now, over on the right, it's showing that we have 6 people on this campaign currently. They are in a group, so we can't remove them from this without removing the group. But we do have some other people in here. So say I want to add Ariel. We can click on the Add button, and now she's been added. If we want to remove her, we can click this Remove button, and she'll move back over to the left. Sometimes people will call us and say, hey, I'm setting up a campaign. It's saying I only have 4 contacts that I can add, but I know I have at least 10 people in my database. Right now, this is we have this box checked for show only eligible contacts. If you uncheck that, it'll show you anybody who is not available to add to a campaign and why. So it looks like we tried to add Ajalon. She is in our database, but it looks like she has an undeliverable email. So it'll show you who it is and why. Sometimes it'll say unsubscribed. Maybe you have contacts where you only have a phone number. When you click this box for show only eligible, it's only going to show people with good emails. So once you have all the people you would like on this specific campaign, we can go ahead and click Save Changes. All right, and then step 4 is our last step, review and activate. I always get this alert. It says you've made edits that have not been saved. These will be discarded if you continue, which is not true because you guys saw I saved everything. So I'm not totally sure. I think this is just a glitch. I'm just going to go ahead and click continue. All right, review and activate. First thing it says, once a contact completes this campaign, automatically add them to blank. So this is really only good for the shorter campaigns because this campaign specifically runs all year long. So once this one finishes, you're probably just going to add them to the new campaign for the next year. So for this one, I would change this to none selected. So what this means is once this campaign is done, these people aren't going to be put on another campaign automatically. Say you were running an 8x8 or maybe one of those shorter, like a mobile app campaign. Those ones only run for a few weeks. So what I would say is great for an 8x8, once they're complete, I would recommend checking this box and adding them to either your monthly newsletter or some sort of other longer campaign that you have running, just so they continue to hear from you. But for this one, I'm just going to say none selected because this one runs for the whole year. All right, we do need to check this box saying you've reviewed the campaign and everybody who's receiving it has actually opted in. Include showcase properties on all steps. If you want to have a couple featured listings at the bottom of these emails, you can check that box. And now we just want to get this thing going, so we can click Activate Campaign. Perfect, so now we're back on that My Campaigns page. It's showing now we have an active campaign. You can see the little button for active is on. We can see we have 6 contacts on here, 1 group. There are 29 email steps, and then 18 actions. These are like those reminders to edit the newsletter, or there are some calls on here and it'll actually give you a script, which is pretty cool. Next campaign, we don't want to put these on a campaign after. And then, oh, this is awesome. This is new. You can choose to duplicate the campaign. Say you want to make a copy of this. Maybe you made a whole campaign with very specific steps, but you want to put different groups on it. You can actually hit this duplicate button and make a copy. If we click on performance, it'll show you the feature steps in here, or any past steps, and then this is pretty cool. It'll show you how many people opened the campaign, how many clicked, bounced, unsubscribed, what have you. I'm going to hit back. This monthly newsletter, it does always say active, but don't worry, unless you actually have people on here, this isn't sending out. So keep an eye on whether or not there's somebody in, or if there's a number in the contacts or the groups column. If we want to pause this campaign, we can click on the little green button and that'll pause it. But I'm actually just going to delete this campaign because I'm sure my coworkers do not want to receive this. So I'm going to click on the campaign title of the one I want to delete. Like I said, it does always bring you into step 2 first, so I'm just going to minimize that. And then if we go down to step 4, review and activate, down at the bottom right there's a delete button. So we can click on that, yes, delete campaign, and we're good to go. Alright, so now I want to show you how we can just make a couple simple marketing pieces in eEdge. So we'll go back up to the top and click on Marketing. And now we're going to click on Marketing Center. Alright, now we're in the Marketing Center. Like I said before, this is basically where we can access our print pieces, our email pieces, lots of great stuff in here. So let's go ahead and just create a flyer really quick. Actually, I'll show you email marketing first. That's simple. So I'm just going to click on email marketing. Let's just click this button that says Browse Email Greetings. All right, so right now, this search options box on the left is your best friend. You definitely want to pay attention to this, see what boxes are selected. Right now we're in the design library, so this is showing us all the different pieces that are available. And we can search for specific keywords. Say we want to search for buyer, seller, what have you. Right now it looks like we're looking at email and video and print. I just want to see email pieces, so I'm going to uncheck this box for print. And right now it's showing a specific collection. This is the eEdge Stay in Touch collection. I want to see everything in here, so I'm going to click on this and change this to all collections. All right, 489 results found. I know that's a lot. So basically, anything that is a step of an email campaign, you can actually send out as an individual email, which is awesome. Maybe you saw a step in one of your 33 touches that you want to send out just as a one-time thing to some people. You can actually do that. Like I said, you can search for different things in here. Maybe you want to send out a buyer piece. We can search for the word buyer. I'm just going to hit enter. And it gave me 118 buyer emails. Maybe you change your mind and you want to see a seller piece. You do have to click on this little X before you search the next keyword, because if I type in seller and search that word, right now it's only going to show us 9 results because we're searching for pieces that have that are for buyers and for sellers. So if you wanted to change your mind and search for something else, just make sure you click on the little red X next to that keyword and then it'll fix your results. So lots of seller pieces in here. I'm just going to click on this one. It looks pretty simple. Help you sell market myths. So you can click on the piece that you'd like to send. If this is good to go, you can just go ahead and click compose email. But I'll just show you how to personalize this really quick. This is exactly the same as when we were editing that campaign piece. I'm just going to make a couple quick changes in here. Let's just change out this photo really quick because I love these silly stock photos. Perfect. Okay, so everything looks good. We don't need to go through and make a bunch of changes in here again. So make sure you're always hitting the save button up at the top left. All right, this has been saved. We're going to exit. And now you can see that this email is good to go. One thing to note, maybe you created a really great email piece in here and you want to post it on Facebook or Instagram, or maybe you want to email it out through your own email, like your Gmail or something like that. Or maybe you want to print this and it's an email piece. What you can do is this little preview over here on the left, you can actually save this. This is a JPEG image, so it will have all these links and stuff on the bottom, but you could crop that out on your own if you wanted to. So you can click on this. I'm going to right click. And now we can do save image as. And you can name this whatever you want. Make sure you know where this is saving. This is saving in my downloads folder. So now what happened was we saved this as a JPEG, so we can actually, let's see if I can get this to open. It's going to open up in preview for me. I'm on a Mac. And now we have this marketing piece. So this was an email piece and we now have it saved as a JPEG. So we can print this, we can post it on Facebook, we can post it on Instagram, what have you. So just a cool little trick. These email pieces, there's a little bit of wiggle room, you just have to know how to do it. So you can actually save this and do other things with it. But let's say we want to send this out to some contacts in eEdge. We can go ahead and click on the compose email button. And once this loads, it's going to basically set up an email for us. So if we scroll down, our email is going to look a little hazy. That's just because since this is HTML optimized, you can't make changes once this is in here. Oops, sorry, Facebook notifications, get out of here. All right, so like I said, it looks kind of hazy because if we want to make changes, we would actually have to hit cancel and go back and edit the piece in that special editor we were in. But this looks good to go. Just make sure everything looks good. Down here at the bottom, we can include our social media links. If you check that box, you can see it has Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We can include those showcase properties if we check on that. And then if you wanted to attach anything, you can click Attach File. But if we scroll back up here we have the subject line. You can of course change this. Deliver, for these they have to be sent out on this day unless you have a pro account. We can't schedule these ahead of time in like an individual email. You can set up a custom campaign. Let's say you wanted to set up a campaign with just one piece in it and schedule it out for like next week. That is actually an option as well, but when you're doing it this way, unless you have Pro, it's going to send it out the same day. All right, up here, the recipients box, we can start to type in emails. Maybe you want to add in a bunch of people. We can click on this To button. And same sort of thing. This screen does look a little different, but it acts in the same way. Right now we can add over individual contacts by clicking the Add button over here. If we wanted to view specific groups, or statuses as well, we can go up here and click on the little drop down. In here it's not going to show you how many people are in these groups, so you really have to know like who you're looking for. Coworkers. So if we click on that and then just click out of it, it'll show us the contacts in that group. So we can add everyone over. Once we hit save and continue, we scroll back up, you can see it plugged everyone's emails in, and then we can hit send now. I'm not actually going to send this because I know none of these people want to receive this. Sometimes it does take a little bit longer to send. I think sometimes it can take like 15 minutes for this email to actually go out. So if you send it and it doesn't look like it's sent, just give it a little bit of time. And then you can check in on that. If you go to messages in here, we can actually go to sent items. And you can, this is actually going to show you your campaigns that were sent as well, but you can go in here and make sure that that's sent out. All right, going back, I want to do just a couple more things before we wrap up today. We're going to click on marketing again. And let's go to the Marketing Center. I want to show you guys how to do a print piece real quick. Over here on the left, let's just go ahead under Design Library, we'll click Print Marketing. All right, 204 results found. Make sure that right now we're in the Design Library, we have Print selected. We have all collections, which is great because it's showing us everything. Right now we're looking at postcards. We do have postcards, flyers, greeting cards, guides. Very important to note, this is actually where you can find your listing presentations. So we have listing presentations, pre-listing presentations, and buyer presentations. These all have different information. So we're in print and then guides. Just note that. I'll show you that here in a second. And then there are some business card templates in here. Let's just do a flyer really quick. There's also, looks like, some letters in here. But I'll select this one. Looks like it's an 8.5 by 11 flyer. So if we click on the one we want. All right, this is just a preview of that. This is pretty cool. If your MLS is hooked up to this properly, you will be able to import listings directly from MLS to make it a little easier to create this flyer. So I'll just start typing in an address. Let's just pick this one. So if you know the MLS number or the address, you can type that in. You can choose that listing. If this isn't working, let us know. We can take a look at your account and make sure everything's hooked up properly. Or maybe it's a listing that's not in MLS. You can just go ahead and click the personalize button and manually add everything in. But we chose our listing. We can now click personalize. All right, so this is just a little bit different from editing those HTML email pieces like the campaign emails. These are actually easier to edit. So as you can see, it did plug in a couple photos, which is awesome. It plugged in our property description, but it's really long. So you will have to edit that. I'm just going to take out the first few lines. Nobody wants to read all this. Perfect. There we go. So yeah, if you do import the info in from MLS, you might have to monkey around with it a little bit just to make sure it fits well and looks nice. That looks good. Same thing, just click and edit. Say we wanted to change this text. We can highlight that. There are more text options in here, which is nice for different fonts. We can make things bigger, smaller, change the color. You can move things around. You can just click on these and actually just move it. If we want to remove this photo, we can click delete. This also imports the images directly from MLS. So if we click on this little button for replace, we can choose to upload an image from our computer, choose one of those excuse me, fun stock photos, or it does have the MLS images in here. So we can just choose, it'll list them all down here. Let's just pick a different one. Perfect, and we can make that a little bigger, move it around, scoot these guys over. I'm not going to try too hard to make this look nice. So yeah, some of these, honestly, they don't look great. Like this isn't my favorite flyer. It just kind of looks incomplete. So you really just have to play around with these and do what you can to make them look, you know, just a little bit more pleasing to the eye. But yeah, very simple. You can go in and make changes. You can add in different images. You can add in more text boxes, articles. You can add in a map. Shapes, sometimes I use these to cover things up. Like maybe we don't like this bar at the top. Maybe we want to change the color. We can just expand this. We can change, maybe we want a funky blue bar at the top. We can change the background color, the outline color, and just overlay it. We have these forward and backward buttons, so oops, it looks, you just kind of have to play around with it. You get used to it the more you use it. So maybe I want the text on top and we want to change this to a blue bar. There we go. So very simple. You just kind of have to, like I said, monkey around, figure out what you want. I'm going to delete this. There we go. But once your flyer is ready to go, make sure you're always clicking the save button as often as possible, because sometimes this page freezes out and you lose your work. So we don't want to do that. I think this was like academia or something. I'll just say 1, 2, 3. Perfect. So change the name of that, save it. I usually do the property address and click save. Okay, so this looks good to go. We can now click exit. And this flyer has been updated. It looks like there was like a placeholder logo there that it plugged in that wasn't showing up before. Sometimes when you hit save, it will rearrange this a little bit, so you'll have to go back in and click edit and just, like I said, play around with it. But let's pretend that we like this flyer and it looks good. Same thing as before. We can save this. Maybe you want this as a JPEG because you can't send out a PDF. Like you can't post a PDF on Facebook. You can't post a PDF on Instagram. It has to be like an image file. So same thing as before. If you wanted to save this as an image, you can right click and click Save Image As and save that to your computer. But the nice thing about these print pieces is this gives you the option to download a PDF for free. So you can get like a nice print quality PDF and use that for your flyers. So what we can do is we can click download PDF. And it is a little slow sometimes, so just give it a moment. All right, we can save this. And now we have this beautiful print quality PDF that we can use and print these flyers. They do also offer printing. I don't know too much about this. I have not printed through Market Leader before. You can choose different paper, different UV coating, and it'll give you the price there. Like I said, I don't know too much about this. What I used to do at my office is just buy like a nice pack of paper from Staples and then do print copies at my office, or you can, do them at like Kinko's, Staples, Office Max, what have you. If I were you, I would probably just download the PDF and print it on my own. All right, so I'll just go back really quick. Gonna click back to search. All right, so real quick, I just want to show you, if you wanted to see all of your saved pieces, they are all in here. Right now we're in the design library, but if we switch this to Save Designs, let's see. Sometimes I wish they didn't have this. You can go in here and search, let's see. Okay. Well, if you go into Save Designs, you can see all of your pieces that you've created in the past. So now it's showing all email and video, and then it looks like for print it's only showing postcards, so you will have to kind of play around and switch these on print. There's no way to show all of your print pieces, unfortunately. You can only show one type at one kind at a time. I don't even know what I'm saying in here. One type at a time. So yeah, so if you're looking for maybe a piece you created in the past, you really like this flyer, you can come in here and find that again. But that is about it for today. We're just going to wrap up. That was marketing with MyKW. So if you guys have any questions when you're creating any of these marketing pieces, definitely feel free to reach out to us and we're happy to help. But that is about it for today. So thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed this class. Just going to go ahead and throw up these. Oh, it is gone. I'll just put up this PowerPoint for you guys so you have some of our support information. We are here Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time on emails, and then 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time on phones. So thank you guys so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed the class, and if you have any questions, definitely reach out to us. Have a great day.